You're now tuned into Iron Stoic, where strength, psychology, and attraction collide. She's younger, beautiful, confident. There's something in her that glows with life, untouched by the heaviness of thighs you've carried. And yet somehow she's drawn to you, not in spite of your age, but because of it. You notice her eyes linger longer than they should, chilled the tension, the curiosity, and you can't help but wonder why. Is it your wisdom? The quiet way you carry yourself, maybe? But the truth, the one most older men completely overlook, runs much deeper. It's not your grey hair, it's not your status, it's something harder to name. Something deeper in your presence, in your stillness, something you might not even know you're carrying. And once you understand it, you'll never see yourself the same way again. Because in this video, we're going far beneath the surface, beyond the cliches, beyond myths. We're stepping into the raw, real psychology of what younger women truly see in older men. Not the fantasy, but feeling. The feeling of safety, maturity, and masculine calm. That feeling of being understood without having to explain. We'll explore why a man who suffered, who's been through heartbreak, failure, growth, can awaken something in a younger woman that she didn't even know she was longing for. Whether you're single, divorced, quietly wondering if it's too late, or if love still sees you, this is for you. For the man who wants to connect not just with woman's body, but with her soul. For decades, the stereotype has been pushed like a broken record that younger women are, all secretly or not, so secretly on hunt for a rich older man, a sugar daddy. But let's be honest, that myth says more about these securities of men than it does about actual desires of women. The truth is most younger women today are not attracted to money alone. They've seen what happens in those transactional effing chuns. Emptiness, power games, manipulation masked as affection. What they are actually drawn to, often unconsciously, is emotional maturity. Someone who doesn't panic when things get tough. Someone who listens, compete with them, who doesn't feel threatened by their independence. If you think your wallet is your greatest asset, you're probably ignorant on things she's actually craving. Stability without control. And this is where real confidence becomes magnetic. Not the loud, showy kind that tries to dominate a room, but the quiet, grounded confidence that doesn't need to prove anything. You walk into a cafe, sit down, and you're not trying to be. You just are. It's that calm energy. It says more than any designer jacket or six-pack ever could. There's a power in it. Performing and not trying so hard. Most women aren't looking for a man to impress them. They're looking for someone who's already impressed with who has become. Youthful charm fades. They get sold. But confidence, the kind born from self-respect and personal growth, fatally deepens with time. And it's exactly that presence that leaves an imprint on her mind. Think about it. When a woman truly feels safe around a man, it's rarely because of his looks or status. It's because his energy is calm. Non-judgmental. He single quotes us not flinching when she opens up. He's not reacting defensively when she agrees. He doesn't crumble when life throws something messy their way. That kind of presence is rare. And women are wired psychologically, emotionally tip up on those subtle cues. The way you pause before you speak. The way you'll look her in the eyes without needing to dominate. The way your silence isn't empty. It's reassuring. So in a world full of emotionally frantic boys pretending to be men, someone who can hold space without controlling the outcome becomes a sanctuary. There's a reason to quote or resonate so deeply. Your calm is more attractive than your ABs. It's not just poetic, neuroscientific. Calmness signals safety. Safety signals trust, and trust. That's the foundation of attraction that lasts. You can't fake this. You can manufacture it in a gimmer. Buy it in a luxury car showroom. You worn it by doing the work, by facing your own demons, sitting with your own discomfort, and learning how to self-regulate. 'Cause when you can walk through the storm of life, with steady eyes and a centered heart, she doesn't just notice you. She gravitates to you. And not because of what you can give her, but because of who you are when everything else is stripped away. Younger women, despite the stereotypes, often crave something far deeper than just fun, attraction, or excitement. What many truly long for, but don't totally ways know how to name, is emotional grounding. A kind of presence that feels safe, solid, and unshakable in a world that moves too fast, filled with constant noise, superficial validation and emotional immaturity. Being with Simone, who doesn't rush, who doesn't just react, but sees and feels, that comes rare, even magnetic. It's not about money or power to boot something quieter, subtler, depth. They can't often who doesn't need to prove himself every minute of the day, who can't sit with discomfort, who doesn't escape and no distraction when things get complicated. That's the kind of depth many younger women intuitively gravitate toward. Older men often carry this kind depth, not just because of age, but because of pain. Life has weathered them. They've been cracked open by disappointment, heartbreak, failure, even death. And in those cracks, something heavier formed. What nights might call emotional gravity. It's not loud, doesn't announce itself, but felt in the stillness behind high sighs, in the way he speaks only when needed, in the way he holds silence without needing to fill it. This gravity comes from having lost and learned and survived without becoming bitter. And it grounds the people around him, especially women who are still exploring storms of identity, ambition, and emotion in themselves. When a man has rarely seen pain, not just felt it, but felt it, he listens differently. He no longer hears just words. He hears the under the words, is not quick to interrupt, defend, or dominate a conversation. His presence alone become a essay form of safety. He looks at you like us, not scanning for weakness, but recognizing it because he's been there. And when he touches you, there's nourish, no performance, just intention, just stillness. For a younger woman, woe's used to being pursued for her body, mirrored only for her beauty. This kind of deep seeing can be disarming and healing. Younger men, no matter how kind or attractive, often haven't lived in or broken enough to develop this skin of intimacy. They're still beckoning, still searching for their own worth, often in loud or distracted ways. It's not their fault. It's just the nature of time. But emotional intimacy, the kind that makes you feel held without being touched, requires a depth of being that only suffering, patience, and reflection can forge. That's why some younger women find themselves drawn not just to older men but to men who have suffered well. Men who didn't let pain close them, but rather open the mento. Something fuller, something moral, something quietly powerful in a world buzzing with distractions, notifications, deadlines, filtered selfies, and shallow conversations. Masculine presence is becoming a raw and powerful force. And it's not about flexing muscles or having the loudest voice in the room. It's that quiet, grounded confidence of a man who is fully here. A man who's not waiting to speak, not performing, not trying to impress, just present. He listens with his whole body. His eyes don't dart away when she talks about something vulnerable. He doesn't interrupt her with solutions or jokes. He holds space with the calm steadiness that says you're safe here. This kind of presence can feel foreign, almost unnerving, because it sounds familiar in a rush-filled, hyper-stimulated age. Many younger women, Avanthas who appear confident on the outside, carry deep emotional scars from overlooked mistresses, or only half listened to. They've grown up in a digital culture where attention is fragmented. Where people swipe through Faces like products and call it intimacy, where men look at them but rarely see them. So, when a man walks in with a different energy, slow, grounded, unhurried, he doesn't just stand out. He becomes magnetic. Not because he's Rick or calming or quoting Rumi over red wine, but because he offers something deeper than flattery. Mirror excellence, a presence that seem with you not for what you give, maybe for woe you are. This is why older men win emotionally. Mature often become not deeply attractive, not just physically but spiritually. A woman can feel instantly it's not chasing her validation, he's not performing confidence. He's lived through enough to own it, he can sit in silence without needing to feel it, if he can hold eye contact without trying to dominate. And perhaps most importantly, he can stay emotionally open even when she's not easy to understand. That kind of energy isn't sexy in the shallow sense. It's soul-touching. Echoes in a world full of noise have becomes a kind of stillness. And in that stillness, something ancient in our softens. We live in a culture that rewards speed, cleverness, and endless stimulation. That presence doesn't come from speed. It comes from depth. It's forged in solitude, lost reflection. A man who has suffered an integrated thought. Suffering carries acquiescence, gravity. And that gravity is what subconsciously longs for. Not the flash of dopamine, but the stability of presence. When you can sit across from her completely undistracted, not reaching for your phone, not adjusting your mask, but simply being, she will feel it. Even if she can't explain why, she will remember you. Because in that moment, you gave her something almost. No one gives any more, your whole self. Many older men quietly disqualify evils before even stepping into the game. They sit in cafes, glance at a beautiful woman, and then look away. Not because they aren't interested, but because a voice inside whispers, "You're too old. She wouldn't want someone like you." It's not rejection that stings. It's the anticipation of it. This self-imposed exile is subtle but powerful. Shows up in their posture, their hesitation, their silence. What they don't realize is they're not being judged by women. They're being judged by their own unhealed narrative. They're haunted by a culture that glorifies and makes them believe that with every grey hair, they're becoming invisible. But invisibility doesn't come from age. It comes from believing you no longer have value. This belief leads many to fall into psychological trap. They start competing with younger men, trying to mirror their energy, their style, their speed. Women don't want an older man to act like a 25-year-old. That's not attraction. It's parody. When a man starts chasing trends, dressing like a boy, or talking with forced bravado, something feels off. It's like watching Simeon wear a costume they don't belong in. And women, especially emotionally inling ones, can feel fatal ligament. Instantly. They may not always be able to articulate it, but something in them pulls away. Because women aren't looking for youthful charm in an older man. They're looking for depth, steadiness, substance, and thousandly emerge when a man embraces his age, not when he hides from it. Then there are those who overcompensate, trying to impress with wealth, expensive itches, over-the-top generosity or high status talk. But often this isn't power. It's insecurity dirred up in Gucci. And again, women can feel it. The shifts from connection to transaction. Instead of "I see you," it becomes "let me convince you I'm worthy our attention." And that energy desperate, performative, slightly anxious is the very thing that kills desire. True masculine presence doesn't need to buy validation. Doesn't need to perform. Because the moment a man tries too hard to prove his worth, humor consciously admits he doubts it. And that doubt repels what he's trying to attract. The most magnetic older men are the ones will have stopped apologizing for who they are. They don't hide their ankles. Okay? They wear them like archery. They don't flinch when a younger man walks in. They nod and let them have a high, because they know something deeper. That confidence isn't a purr for Mansdot. It's a quiet agreement with yourself. When a man is deeply okay with woe, haze when he doesn't shrink, doesn't vary, doesn't explain, it radiates. That kind of grounded presence second be intoxicating to a woman. It's not because he's trying to seduce her butt back because he doesn't need to. He's full, centered and rooted and in a world of frantic performers, that stillness feels like power. Too many men think connection begins with charm or cleverness. Like love is a meth thing you trick someone into. But truth is, women can feel thigh-vance between a man who's performing and a man who's grounded in himself. Emotional clarity means yakno, who you are and what you feel, and are not afraid to reveal fate even if it makes you vulnerable. It means saying something real like I'm actually nervous right now, instead of some rehearsed line and that small mammoth of honesty. It can do more than a dozen witty one-liners. Because clarity isn't loud, it's felt. It's in your tone, your eyes, your presence. It tells you, I'm here fully. Not pretending, not playing. And that for a woman seeking something genuine is irresistible in a world addicted to noise and speed. Depth is rare and deeply attractive. It's questions that go beneath the surface, like, what's something you don't talk about often, but think about? All thought time? Or when did you last feel truly olive? These aren't interrogation tools. They're invitations, gentle ones, to explore who she really is. And when she opens up, don't rush to feel the hour smart enough to keep up. Just listen. Deeply. Make her feel seen. That's the kind of a restraint most men ever master. Because ego won't let them stay. Quiet longino to receive a woman's truth. But when you give her spaccato be her whole self, not just by version that flirts back. You give her a few men ever offer emotionalist safety. You don't need to be flashy, rich or endlessly interesting. What she wants, what many women silently crave is a man with a world of his own. A rhythm, a passion, a life that breathes with meaning. Whether it's the way you journal every morning, the stories bend, the music you love, or how you'll light up when talking about ocean. That's what pulls her in. Not because you are showing off, but because you are showing something real. You're saying, here's who I am, here's the fire, I live Ebby. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. And that quiet confidence, that sense of purpose without performance. Ado pens a door for a connection. One that isn't based on impressing her, but on inviting her to walk beside you. You can connect through a mask. Q might attract, but it won't last. Real intimacy only begins when the performances drop and both people say, here I am. Flaws and all and that takes courage. It means rescanging rejection by being seen. It means nothinging your past, your fears, your uncertainty. And it also means embracing her with grace, not judgment. This is where connection lives in the messy human space where neither of you needs to be perfect. Because when she sees that, you're not trying to be Sumi and Ailes, that you're not trying to fit into hot. You think she wants you to give her permission to do the same. And in that vulnerability, something deeper earth and attraction forms something true. Something rare. Something worth a very thing. Music you might feel like your best days are behind you. That the year shave taken more than they've given. Any fire we walked through has left only scars. But what if those scars aren't signs of loss, but proof of survival? Proof that to have been tempered, refined, and forged into something rare. A man who carries both strength and softness in same breath. There's a quiet power in that deep kind of truth that no flashy youth or empty charm can match. It's the kind of strength that doesn't shout, but whispers steady and real. Any woman who truly sees that in you She's not chasing an illusion or storybook hero. She's looking for the man who shows up as himself, flawed, honest, an unbreakable dot, because that kind of authenticity is magnetic in a world full of masks. And it's the kind of connection that lasts. If you're ready to lead, not chase, hit that subscribe. This is Iron Stoic.